Hey guys, TF Nut, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing another action figure review, and I'm going to try to make this one pretty quick. This one's a little bit of an older figure, it's still rather new. It's the Marvel Legends series Puff Adder Build-A-Figure series Ultimate Captain America. I wanted to try to get this around the same time as the Extremis Armor Iron Man. Was not able to, unfortunately. Secured a pre-order on Amazon, shipped I think last weekend. So this figure here was one of the only other ones, as well as the Extremis Armor Iron Man. I was really only interested in this wave. The rest of it doesn't look too bad. The Build-A-Figure looks pretty decent. These two were kind of the priority so far. Maybe later on down the line I'll finish this wave this year. Who knows? But just giving you a 360 quickly of the box here. Many of you are pretty familiar with this particular figure now. I think some other people are starting to get theirs soon and starting to find some of theirs in stores. Here's an image of the barcode really quick, just in case you need it. And here's a quick 360 of the figure on my rotating base right there. Overall, it is a really nice figure, but a lot of us know about a couple issues with this figure right now. Slight QC problems on my figure, nothing that I think is unforgivable, but the problems that people have, including the kind of outdated shield clip system, as well as the torso articulation, mostly in the upper chest with that ball joint. Yeah, not amazing. But other than that, pretty awesome figure. Let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories. Don't take a close look at the figure. So I believe Iron Man does not come with a Build-A-Figure piece. However, this Captain America does, and it is the head sculpt for Puff Adder. I think that there's actually some really good detailing in the face. The sculpt is really nice, even though it's a little bit covered by this mask here. You can see actually a little bit of a wash. Maybe, I don't want to say wash, but there's definitely a dark wash. It's best I can describe it as that. And some of the creases in the face and in the eyes as well, around the mouth too. This mask piece is really just molded in this green here, and then the eyes are painted white with really nice scrunches there. A little bit of wiggle room, surprisingly, with this mask here. So that's decent, you know, pretty nice. So the figure comes packaged with a gritting teeth expression, as well as the alternate hands, like the throwing hand and the gripping hand. So let's take a quick look at this normal stern expression. This is very reminiscent, at least some of the sculpting here, to the Toy Biz 20th anniversary Captain America. I don't have that, but from the images I've seen, that this looks kind of like that, if you ask me. Wondering if that, unmasked head sculpt can fit on this figure. But either way, this is a really nice head sculpt. I think some of the digital printing that they're using for the comic figures is a little bit rusty, only slightly, if you look really hard enough in the eyes, but it doesn't look too bad. It's like 90% well done, I think. There's like a 10% like not perfect. Lip color is really nice. It feels like there's a little bit of like ever so slight paint splotching in some parts where the blue and the skin tone meets. The rest of that detailing and sculpting looks really nice. The A comes through really clean. I think there's a little bit, it could be dirt, but there's a little bit of slight white specks on the blue. Maybe some paint in the blue could be, welcome. I don't know what's going on here, but texturing on the side here, the ear exposed, really nice. A little bit of blue in there, unfortunately, but it's not too bad. Same thing here, really nice texturing. I have yet to put this on. Sometimes alternate heads are really hard to pop on and off, so we'll have to wait and see with that. Shield system here that we've gotten before in the past. I think they're still using it. I would rather them just do the soft plastic bits that they would do for Captain America's for the MCU. I don't really know what the answer is, I guess, from me on how to plug it into the back, but I'm sure they can figure something out, because eventually this is gonna break, like it does with a lot. I've owned like a bunch of Captain Americas with this. I think 4 of these have broken over the past decade. But the paint is decent, it's molded in red, white, and the blue are painted on there. Really not bad splotching. Really nothing on the inside, of course, just red plastic. Pegs towards the bottom here. I'm glad they didn't ruin the star sculpt. That star looks good. They put it right underneath. That's welcome. Fits in there really nicely. And then I'm not going to do it on camera, but the idea, I think these are actually going to be really wide. These wrist pieces. Usually I like to go towards the top because it's thinner towards the top. But you do it like that, and then you try to twist it just ever so slightly. And yeah, it can fit in there, but I know it's just going to stress the plastic eventually. And then you pop that out. Yeah, look at that already. See, look. You guys saw that live on camera. Look at that. It's already stressed. So, like, what is the deal? What can you do in the future, Hasbro, to make sure this doesn't happen? Because otherwise, I'm just going to replace this with an MCU cap shield. That's annoying. Needs to be changed. Fists. These look pretty good. There's some pretty nice detail. Almost looks like leathery type of material that they've molded into the hands. And there's these pieces that stick out in the back of the hands. The actual fists with the scrunching look really nice. So this is the head sculpt this figure comes with, the gritting teeth expression. I think this comes through really nice, except I think that the teeth, you know, there's digital printing there and it's kind of obvious. Yeah, I wish it was more painted on here. Sometimes in the past, certain people's teeth painted in the Hasbro Marvel Legends stuff, it looks like they just brushed their teeth because there could be a little bit of messiness. But this is basically like 2013, 2014 when this would be the worst problems, honestly. Wish they kind of painted it here because it looks just a little weird to me. But it's not bad, you know. I feel like they tried to make it look his face look a little bit dirty, or maybe give him some kind of, I don't know, something with a complexion going on. But it's a little too heavy with that face printing on there. But the eyes with the face printing, that looks really good. The overall sculpting, you know, with like these creases around the mouth, also looks really good. Very similar approach here to the previous head I was showing off earlier. It's molded in blue, and we have these, you know, detail pieces on the side of the mask, and you have the ear protruding there. The A is protruding and printed, you know, the white paint is painted on there really nicely. Same thing on the other side with that detailing. It does not look like the back of the head. It has some dirtiness, like whatever was going on with the alternate head. So I don't know if there's actual paint apps or it's the light hitting this, but the scales, not only do they look really good, but they kind of look like shiny, almost metallic. It might be the light doing that, but the scales are really nicely sculpted. There might be a little bit of some paint going on to bring out some of these details. Not as visible on the back or the top of the shoulders, but it still looks really good. Just showing you the back really quick. We've already kind of talked about where the shield plugs in. And this star is very similar to the one on the front, meaning there's a little bit of like protruding details. I've been saying protruding a lot, but these pieces right here are like a separate sculpt. There's a little bit of blue in there, but the overall paint I think is really clean. So this side of the shoulder, as you can see, it's going to be like this on the other side. You have this piece that sticks out with the white and red. You know, the white star looking pretty good. I think there's a little bit of red in that star, but this one here, not too bad. You'll notice on both sides of the arm that we have these, you know, biceps and elbows molded in white plastic. Because of that, they're painting on the rest of the color, so it looks a little bit darker with this blue here, but some of the white is coming through. Unfortunately, so actually the gray here isn't too bad, but unfortunately different parts of the gray around the ribs, elbows, not elbows, sorry, armpits, as well as the back, there's just a lot of blue that's bleeding through here. It's really imperfect, and it's pretty easy to tell, unfortunately, especially towards that front part of the shoulder. Same thing here around the rib cage. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of how messy that is. It could be worse, but definitely could be better. I think they've been boasting about better paint apps, and this isn't really better paint apps if you ask me. Now, I am going to have to turn my brightness down on my camera a little bit if I can even show you remotely some detailing. Look in the elbows. You kind of get it in some of the muscles here, but there is some detailing for his outfit there. It's very subtle. I wish it was honestly a little bit heavier on the detailing. I think maybe it would have, you know, some of the articulation would have started to get messed with. Not entirely sure, but there is detailing going on in some parts of the white. Let's bring the brightness back up for you guys. Okay, so I don't know how many times I'm going to be mentioning this anymore because it's kind of the norm, but pinless tech here, looking rather nice. The gauntlets, you know, these gloves, they have like these pouches on here. They're mostly molded in this red color here. They look really good, and just like the alternate hands, the gauntlet piece here and this hand looks like it has a little bit of like slight leathery material going on. You can see some detailing in the palms. All that looks really good. Kind of a weird separation of the pinky with the rest of the hand, but not, you know, it's not really a complaint, just something I noticed. But yeah, that looks really good. I think the last Ultimate Captain America we got, I think was like, I don't know, I think it was like 2013, 2014, or maybe even a 3-pack. I don't even remember at this point. Much needed version of this Captain America. This hand, you can see a little bit better scrunching in the hand there, or the palm I should say. This is a bit of a softer plastic here, so even though this piece sticks out, it shouldn't get in the way of wrist articulation too much. You can see some pretty good detailing in the red, and it's the white again. It's not going to come through really well because the light's hitting it. You can kind of see it in there though, but there's like this ball joint in here, and it kind of, you have to, trying to center it is a little bit more difficult than it should be. And again, the articulation is not great, but we will get to that. I forgot to mention the neck detailing. I do wish this had the dumbbell system. This is more of a hinge and disc and a ball joint, or like a ball peg in there. You know, you guys are, I can't take it off right now for some reason. Yeah, that I do wish it was a, you know, more of a dumbbell joint that we've been getting lately, but it's still nice, and there's some detailing in the neck there, so it's good to see. So the pouches here, or the, I guess the belt I should say, these pouches look really good. Could have some better like leathery detailing. Well, actually, it's not too bad with the detailing, but paint could be better. Unfortunately, you know, in the past, Marvel Legends used to have a clip where it can, you know, unplug and you can plug it back in. With this, I think it's stuck in here unless you were to cut it off, or, you know, remove the legs, or even like the torso if you can. If you wanted to fix up this belt, it will be a little bit more difficult, but there is the silver buckle on the front and all those pouches again. Looking really good. A huge pouch there, canteen with a star. Looks really nice. Maybe you could have some better paint. So we get down to the legs. You know, the pants actually look pretty nice. We do have this line going all the way down. And some nice scrunching for the outfit. Some nice muscles in there too. I believe this is a unique sculpt. It could be retooled from a previous sculpt. I'm not entirely sure. But it feels like there's a lot more unique stuff going on here. We have the pinless tech, so you know, you get the scrunching around the knees. That looks really good. Toward the back, you get that Captain America buttocks there. The lines there too. And they actually continued some of that detailing in the lines on the back of the knees, which is really sick. Then you get to the boots. These look great. Very similar to the gloves. They have this leathery material molded in here. I think a little bit of a wash would have been nice for the red. Still looks good. The laces are really nicely detailed in there. The top of the feet also look really good. Really nice wrinkles around there too. And then you have the bottom of the feet, which has some decent treading. Could be better. I've seen worse on Marvel Legends where it's just completely flat sometimes. I mentioned it earlier. Articulation could be better. Could be worse. Up that much, down that far. So the actual range of motion isn't bad. I think I just would welcome the dumbbell joint a little bit more. And then rotation, not a problem there. So the arms can actually go all the way out. I feel like I'm going to start scratching something with this, but that goes out really far. Let me see. So that looked, I don't think anything got scratched. That's impressive. It doesn't look like it's cut that deep too, so I'm digging that. And these shoulders don't look that big, so yeah, that's sick. These are a little bit gummy. I feel like a lot of the upper arms have been gummy for Marvel Legends ever since the Spider-Man stuff from last August, but it does rotate decently. We do have double jointed elbows. It was a little bit hard to bend there. And we have a swivel at the wrist. This hand goes up and down. The other one, though, goes in and out. The fists go in and out. So the ball joint, yeah, you hear that. I'm not a big fan of how tight that sounds. And that's as far back as it wants to go. Maybe if I move the arm, you can see. This is standing upward. That's as far back it wants to go. Far forward. Not impressed. Side to side could be better, too. I've seen people mod it, but it's also really difficult to keep working on the articulation with this, unfortunately. The Iron Man from this wave has the same problem too. But we also have a waist swivel. This is one time where I wish that they would, I don't know, prioritize this ball joint instead, and then just not even use this waist swivel, if I'm being honest. Legs can go forward. Back could be better. The splits are almost perfect. Good enough for this character. Upper thigh swivel. We get the double jointed knees, a swivel here at the boot, and then we have up, well, that's down, of course. Down motion could look, it looks like it's stuck a bit. Up could be a little bit better. And then ankle rockers. Just like with a lot of Marvel Legends figures, this thing is pretty close to about 16.5 centimeters, give or take. That's pretty close to 6.5 inches, also give or take. A lot of these figures are pretty close in that scale. So it looks like the Iron Man from this wave is a little bit taller, which is to be expected. Right next to him on the right, that's the 2018 80th anniversary Captain America, which I believe the 20th anniversary Cap Toy Biz one is using that same body. And so the new one in the middle is a little bit taller than the previous one, which is still a pretty good figure. Far left, that is going to be the Retro Collection Spidey from 2020, a little bit shorter, which is also to be expected since Cap should be a little bit taller. And then Marvel Legends are definitely going to be taller than Black Series. Overall, I am pretty satisfied with this figure. I just have some quality control issues with my particular figure. The blue coming through the gray around the rib cage and the stomach and all of that. There is a white stripe actually in the stomach. There's some red on one of his white stripes on the left side. I forgot to mention that. I don't know how I didn't mention that, but it's pretty obvious. There's a little bit of some white specks on his head sculpts too, but you got to really look hard to see those. The ball jointed waist is not very good. It will need to be modded. And the shield clip system is pretty outdated. Not a big fan of that. However, the rest of the articulation is really nice. I can't narrow down again if this is reusing parts from a previous body or if this is completely new. Either way, a lot of the sculpting and detailing is really nice for this figure. The rest of the accessories, you do get the shield, which is nice. The other accessories are also really nice. You get that Build-A-Figure piece. The question for me is this a necessity? The thing is, we have so many Captain Americas in this line that I don't really know at this point. There's some really good ones, and there's some full of stinkers, but this is a very good one. If you like this particular look for Captain America, I do think this is a must get. 25 bucks, got mine from Amazon. Check some links down in the description below if you're trying to get this figure. Some places might have it sold out, some might have it in stock, who knows. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below what you think about the figure, what you think about the review. Leave a like, share, mix with your friends. Follow me on Instagram for more content over there, and I'll see you guys later.